So now the edited audio is in the project file, and I have my introduction, I have my new audio file. What I'm going to do now is when I'm going to listen to this, and when I do that, I'm going to move this around a little bit to make it sound like I want it to sound as to when it's going from the intro to the main audio. So here it goes. I'm going to click here.
Provoking and edifying. Now, here with today's episode is Jimmy Barber.
In previous podcast.
Well, that sounds pretty good as to where that's at. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So one thing too I'll point out is this is how, if you think it sounds too loud here compared to how it sounds here, you can turn and adjust these volumes with the gain. I'm at a gain -3. I'm at a gain 5 or -5 right here. So and on the outro, I'm at a gain -6. That's just my project, and that's how it works. I feel like best when it comes to this particular project. If you were working on a project and it sounded like your intro was much softer or much louder, you can always adjust that over here at this top little slider where it says gain. You can always adjust the volume there and make the corresponding adjustments to your audio tracks below. So you've got 3 tracks here. This is the intro, and you've got your main audio that we just edited, and then the outro. I've done this in a previous project, added in this intro and added in the outro at the end. And so I don't have to keep recreating that. But notice how this overlaps. If I click here to listen.
Ephesians chapter 1.
See, that's playing over that. So you're going to have to select up here. Like right now, I'm at the selection tool on Audacity. To move the audio over, I've got to click this little arrow, a little line with 2 arrows. And that is a time shift selection. It's a time shift tool. So now I can click on this and I can actually move it. All right, let's listen to that.
Nevertheless, our time is up for today. Farewell.
Okay, that's a lot of empty space before it gets here. I'm going to move this over some more. Let's try it again.
Nevertheless, our time is up for today. Farewell.
Thank you for listening.
Move it just a little bit closer.
Up for today.
And I tell you what, I'm going to select this right here. It's a little bit more space than I'm really wanting for the listener to have to kind of pause and wait. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I didn't do that. I could have done that on the other track before importing this one here. Just now I'm catching that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And let me select my selector or my time shift tool again.
Today.
Let's listen here.
Nevertheless, our time is up for today. Farewell.
Okay, so that sounds better there, but let's shift this over some more.
Yes, our time is up for today. Farewell.
Thank you for listening to today's edition of Baptist Perspective.
That sounds pretty good. Let's check that intro one more time.
Today's episode is Jimmy Barber.
In previous
That's really where I want that. So I like this. I don't have to move this at all, but I did move the outro and made that adjustment. So now that you're finished and you've got all of your, I'm zooming out here, you have all of your audio like you want it. You have your intro, you got your outro, everything sounds good. You want to mix these together. And so this is one of the last steps. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to select everything. I did the Control A or Command A. Go to Tracks, Mix, Mix and Render. All right, so now it's going to mix and render these tracks and create one track. And it's going to do its thing within Audacity. This is your mixing tool that you want to use. So it doesn't just combine them. There's a little bit more to it than that. You can always research that on your own if you'd like. But once this is finished, you'll see what it looks like. There we go. That's it. So again, we started out with this one file, then we enhanced it, and then we brought it over into our project. This is our project file here. So now we've got the intro and the outro, and we would be ready at this point to hit Control A, File, and export as MP3. And then you would do what you need to do to add your tags and your title, and you have your file ready.